Before we get back to the show, let me tell you about Bart's Pizza. Bart Basilico reinvented his father's pizzeria business by putting it on wheels. I'm talking a pizza food truck, baby. Bart and his wife Lauren travel all around Metro Detroit, cooking up homemade pies made fresh to order in their 4-layered pizza oven on wheels. You can find them on their website at eatbartspizza.com and Facebook and Instagram as well at Bart's Pizza. His last name is literally Basil, so you know he knows what he's doing. Make sure to grab a cannoli as well while you're there. Bart's Pizza, it's too good.
Yo, I'm Jake Masucci from Jake's Takes. I wanted to talk a little bit about my show on my guy Giovanni's own show. And I wanted to talk about a little bit about Jake's Takes. I'm a student manager at Oakland University, and I kind of just talk all things sports. I talk a lot about the NBA, talk a little college basketball. We did a lot of March Madness stuff recently. We talked about NBA playoffs, NFL playoffs, talked a lot about the NFL draft. It's basically just an all things sports show. I really think you guys would enjoy it. And shout out to my guy Giovanni. Love him. But please check out Jake's Takes. It's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and then it's also available on its own YouTube channel. So please check out Jake's Takes, but please continue enjoying Giovanni's show.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the GioMoShow interviews. We're back here. It's fall 23, baby. We're back here in the studio, and as you can see, it's a packed house today.
Hello.
And for our lovely guests today, I'll have them introduce themselves. But for you guys, this is Club Men's Volleyball, a team that many of you guys may not have heard of, but here is the grand introduction. Fellas, why don't you go and introduce yourselves?
Okay, I'll go first. I'm Hemant. I'm a senior mechanical engineering major. I've been playing volleyball all my life, love the sport, and I play with the men's club.
Nice. My name is Matthew Kozel. I'm a senior. I'm in medical physics, and I've been playing volleyball since I came to OU, so only 2 years now.
Yeah.
I'm Anthony. I also go by AP. I've been playing volleyball for a year and a half now, I think.
Yeah.
I'm a senior. Yeah.
Yeah, well, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So for you guys, I've had a club team here before in the live studio. I had club football come in, and the world of club sports is something that's a little bit unexplored by the rest of the student body. So that's one of the reasons I like to have you guys on there to kind of give you guys a spotlight. So for instance, or just to kind of get things started, for you guys as individuals, where did you get your start in sports? What are the sports that you played growing up, and kind of what was your path to lead to men's club volleyball here?
So for me, sports was something I would do to get away from my regular, studying life of being a student, And since I'm from India, almost every Indian boy or girl, they grew up playing cricket.
Oh,
you know, in our houses, cricket is like a big thing. There's a family time where everyone sits together, watches cricket. But then for me, I was introduced to volleyball earlier in my 6th grade, I think. We had a high school or a elementary school team, middle school team. And then we had this one camp near our house, which my friend's mom, she had me register just for fun. It was like a summer camp thing, and I liked it. I stuck with it, and now I'm here.
Yeah, well, welcome.
Thank you.
Fellas, where'd you guys get your start? What have you guys been playing till volleyball?
I did music beforehand.
Is that so?
My entire family they were all sports related. My mom and my dad were all volleyball players.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and my mom played a lot of basketball and was recruited to coach at Michigan and Michigan State, but she said no.
Man, you got some sports pedigree in your family.
I know, but I never did sports up until now. And then I wanted to try it out, and I've loved it ever since.
Yeah, so what instrument did you play? Where's the? Now I want to kind of explore the music world a little bit. What instrument you play?
I played the bass guitar.
Ooh,
yeah.
A sexy one.
Oh yeah, you already know. But yeah, I got to play at Lollapalooza once.
Really?
Yeah. It was
That's big time.
It was a memory it was a great thing. Yeah.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah. Thank
Man,
you.
I want to hear you play or see you play.
Yeah,
Someday.
we'll have a
Right now,
segment.
Yeah.
The transition music is going to be you on bass. You able to do that,
Oh
right?
yeah. Wait till next week. You know.
And finally,
Yeah. I grew up playing soccer and basketball. Volleyball I kind of just did for fun. Never really got super into it, and then intramurals, like,
With someone
yeah.
until you saw me.
Hemant kind of recruited me from intramurals, just playing like co-ed, and then I just joined the club, and ever
And now
since
he's
I've
a
loved it.
beast.
now he's a beast.
Yeah.
He also recruited me too.
Is that so? Yeah, because
Yeah.
I know you've been. The way I found you guys was actually the Instagram page that you guys
Yeah.
have. You guys got highlights all the time.
Yeah.
It's all him.
Sure, yeah.
Man, you've been lighting up Instagram with some of those highlights,
Dude,
man.
I'm the hype man for call me anything,
He
but I'm the hype
is.
man. And the thing is, I love doing that, and it's really important to have your establishment. I mean, you can't go out to people and be like, okay, you can't just tell them stories about, okay, this is how it is. You gotta show them something, right?
Exactly.
And nowadays people are on Instagram. How many hours? Like 8 hours. a
many.
day, Like
Too
scrolling
many.
all day, right? And that's the place where you gotta show what you do and everything. Make sure, and they're not just highlights. They're not just videos. They're like like thirst traps of him.
Thirst traps. Wait a
Ew.
second.
No,
Make sure to go follow.
not exactly that, but it's something like that. Where people they definitely love what we do. So
And while we're on the topic, where can they find you guys on Instagram?
So our handle is Oakland MCVB. There's Instagram. There's YouTube. YouTube, you'll find our whole entire games. Instagram is just highlights and updates and schedules and everything. And what else do we have? Just that, right?
Just that. Yeah.
Yeah, we try.
Man,
Yeah,
that seems plenty, especially
Yeah,
for
yeah.
like what you guys have is kind of like self-run club
Yeah,
sport.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
quite a production.
yeah. And I think I tried to do TikTok, but TikTok's like I don't know. It just
It's
off.
kind of
Yeah,
evil.
yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
gets,
kind of evil.
I did try TikTok a little bit, but between Instagram and Twitter, like between everything, everything's TikTok
Yeah,
anyway.
For some reason, Instagram just feels a little better than TikTok. I don't know
Right.
what it is. I think it's the white screen or the white homepage.
Yeah.
It just makes it look clean.
Well, I have mine on dark mode.
Oh, you
So
do?
it's- yeah, it's
Oh,
not.
You got to, of course.
yeah.
My eyes light on fire if I have it on light mode.
Yeah, so it's that.
Yeah. So in addition to having, it seems like you have the big responsibility of recording all this stuff. What are all of you guys? What are your responsibilities on the team? Between like the role of president and all that kind of stuff, or just as an athlete?
So I want to say this. We didn't mention this in our introduction.
Mhm.
So I was the secretary for the first year post-COVID. So post-COVID is now like an year, right? We count it, it's like
The point of
yeah.
history.
Yeah. So post-COVID, I was a secretary for that one academic year. After that, AP was the president. He took the chair. He was like, did a great job. And now this year, Matt's gonna be the president. And it's like going to the next level every single time. What I learned from my first year, I'm transferring those things to AP, and he's doing them in a better way. And the same thing is with Matt. Now we got different plans, better plans, how to do different stuff. So when I was a secretary, I was not the president, but I was a secretary, and my main goal was getting the club together.
Mhm.
We tried getting a coach, but it didn't really work out. Being a student organization,
So you guys are self-coached then?
yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
every single one of us. All we have learned is from people like we know some people that we play with, we watch them, and things they share things sometimes,
Mhm.
or it's like the internet or online coaching and stuff, and we just transfer those, like teach ourselves and other people on our team.
Yeah. So you guys go to YouTube University.
we do, yeah. But then, so my responsibilities mainly are recording, taking pictures, doing the social media kind of thing. And when it comes to practices, not that much, but I was kind of responsible for the B team of our men's team.
Okay.
So
Was.
just making sure everyone's passing well, like teach them how to pass good, and if it's like hitting perspective, like how they need to hit, and just make sure the practices are running well. Respect, like for the B team at least,
Yeah, because I don't think you understand. Like, he is a beast in the back row.
I've seen the highlights. I've done
Oh,
my
yeah.
research. You can't- All-star over here. So do you guys ever reach out to the D1 volleyball team to get any advice or coaching? Like, have you guys ever used them as a resource?
So I'm a manager for the our Division
Is
One.
that
women's team.
so?
Yeah.
You know what? Now you
I didn't know
kind of
that.
brought it back in memory. I saw you on the the
Insta-
Golden Grizzlies, like the volleyball Instagram,
yeah.
one of those like little signs in front of the camera.
Yeah. So I get a lot of help. I mean, not like help, but I learn a lot from them. A
Yeah.
lot. I haven't really. It's not been a long time with working with them.
Mhm.
I started a spring this year, so we didn't have an active season, but we were practicing and we had
Right.
few scrimmages, right? So my main role for the team is statistics. I do stats
Oh.
like kills, kill percentage, errors, neutral swings,
Wow.
and then passing is the 4-3 because passing is the most important thing in volleyball.
Mhm.
If you get the ball up good to the setter, that's when the game
It's
starts.
perfect.
Yeah.
Then,
Perfect.
Then the snowball starts
Yeah,
rolling.
Yeah.
That's when you see the game. So all those kind of things, and I do that voluntarily. And while I'm there, I'm learning all the things that coaches tell to the players. Like the D1 coaches and the assistant coaches, and then the way things function. Like this is the drill. This is the things that they need to work on. What are their weaknesses? What are their strengths?
Yeah.
And then I try to transfer my knowledge to the club, which we don't have official like practice times every single day, and there's like a lot of people, right? So
Yeah.
it's hard sometimes where you try to do everything at the same day, but we try to make the most out of it and make ourselves better.
Right. So
Yeah.
So for that, like I'm sure like you got like you come back from those practices like knowing the drills, knowing what they work on or I should say what they use drills to work on, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I'm like almost embarrassed I didn't know you were what part of the management team.
That's fine.
So how do you, is it just kind of during practices, whenever they may be, whoever happens to be there, is it just kind of like, oh, I saw them do this and do it this way. So in a way, do you kind of become the coach?
Not really. The thing is, so what I do is, with the A team captain, his name is Anthony. He's the secretary this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was the secretary last year too. So he kind of does a lot of things too. He's one of the most knowledgeable person when it comes to volleyball too.
Okay.
He did this one coaching session with a national team. I forgot his name. A national team player from Canada.
Oh, okay.
And he's one of the best setters I know in like around the Oakland County or the Michigan volleyball scene. So I go to him, we talk. It's sometimes them too. Like I would just talk. I would share what we need to do. And the thing is, we have played for a while now, and every person kind of knows what he needs to work on, what he needs to do better, because it's not just us playing with the club. It's also us individually playing off season, which is
Right.
these guys. We all play together in open tournaments. Outside of men's club volleyball.
Okay.
So it's also like we go to pick up places, we go different places, and we like, okay, this is what we need to do better. So everyone kind of knows their stuff.
Yeah.
And then, we just when it comes to club practices, I think we make sure we work as a team together a lot. Like because with individually you can only go so much far, right?
Of course.
If you have to win games, you have to win as a team. So that's what we work on the most.
Yeah, especially since you can't hit it twice in a row yourself. So
Right.
whether you like it or not, you have to.
all individual in volleyball is getting points and getting surveys. That's it, and that's all you can do individually.
Yeah.
Of course. So to kind of round out the like roles and responsibilities. So Matt, what's your role on the team? Do you have a title with it, or are you just a stud athlete?
So just a stud. No, I'm kidding. But I am the president this year. I was treasurer before this year, so
Okay.
I did a lot of work under AP, and now I'm the president, and he helps me out.
Okay.
But I also try to coach some of the younger people, but I mainly try to focus on our A team, figuring out plays and stuff that we can do to like further the team as like a team.
Yeah.
Because shooting to outside, shooting to right side, those are all very important. And like even so for B, but getting like certain plays going and certain things that can make each play more intricate is something that I really strive for.
So
the
you
team.
try to focus on pushing the ceiling of what you guys can do on the A team.
Yeah.
And the B team, I guess, the others would be more focused on their development, kind of bringing them up to the level, but you want to push it up higher. right?
yeah.
Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I try to create, zigzags. He knows.
Yeah.
Mango.
Yeah. Pretzel.
So I'm hearing volleyball, like we cover it here on WXOU, but the intricacies and you talk about like set play designs and hitting to corners and stuff. So like how complex is the game of volleyball, especially compared to somebody looking on the outside? Because it sounds like there's quite a bit to it.
Oh yeah.
Very complex. I'm still learning. I like just joined the sport like a year and a half ago, so it was hard for me as president because it's like trying to run a club, but then I don't really know that much about volleyball, so
That's
that was
one
hard
thing
for
about
me.
club sports I would like to mention. Running a club sport, like if as a president, so I want to give Matt this heads up.
Oh yeah.
Like I felt like a little last year
Uh-oh.
with AP. Like while running a club, it's really hard to focus on yourself as a player,
Right.
because then you come to practices, but there are 100 things in your mind where
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I gotta get this permission done, I gotta sign this undertaking, and get travel information, and contact that captain, and they don't reply fast, right?
Yeah.
So it's like those things are still going on because that's the other part you are doing by yourself, and then you gotta focus on yourself and become a better player, which is really hard.
Yeah.
So, but the way they did it, that's really awesome. I could have never done it. So yeah, it's complicated in that part. But as to answer your question, as a sport, the complication comes with every different position. I'm a setter,
Right.
so we're gonna give you 3 answers: right side, outside. Matt can give you any perspective. DS, AP middle blocker. He can. I'm sure you're familiar with the positions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watch YouTube
Yeah.
myself too. I got a bachelor's in volleyball.
So
He's an
that's good.
expert.
So that's good. Okay, so with setter, even this past season, my most important challenge or complication was, when there's so much pressure. First thing, there's
Oh, yeah.
pressure. There's pressure of getting the next point. There's pressure of getting that side out. There's pressure. What if your hitter can't hit the ball and he hits the net? He doesn't like the set, right?
Mhm.
So my in concert, it's like, okay, should I set him though? Or should I no? Should I set it? Should I no? Should I set outside? Should I set right side? Should I go middle? Or should I just set it down?
Yeah,
So it's like-
you're the one that has to make the decision on how the rest of the play goes.
But then one of my kind of mentors or people that that really helped me told me that setting is a flow.
Mhm.
You just go with it. You don't think, like you think, but you don't get caught in that thing. It should be in a flow where the pass comes, the ball goes, and it's a kill.
Right.
So it's like that. You just not get overthink or just get caught up or just get in your head a lot.
Right, and especially just that's something I really love about volleyball. Like I've gone to a few games. I go hard in the student section.
Right.
But I've noticed like every single hit, every pass, every I know spike is not the traditional term, but every hit has so much intensity to it because if it hits the floor, that's it. That's the point. So there's so much suspense in every play, and that's something I love about watching. It's something you guys can love about watching it or love about watching it too.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, each play is so much adrenaline.
Yeah.
And then after the play, you're like, okay, next play.
Yeah, and you gotta climb the adrenaline mountain all
Mhm.
over again.
Yeah.
It goes over and over and over.
With
It's amazing.
hitting, like I have never hit in like competitive games that we play. I've either DS'd or libbed.
Mhm.
But with hitting, I feel like, I don't know, maybe some pressure with the blockers. Like I've because the players I've played with, if there's a really good blocker,
Mhm.
it's hard. I've heard it's hard to hit around them.
Right.
How it's a big it's like a wall in front of you.
Yeah.
What do you do then? But then these guys come in over there and they're like, especially AP.
Yeah.
He
Oh, yeah.
knows how to get around the block and
Mm.
get the point, get the side out. If you need a side out, you set AP.
All right.
Heard. Exactly.
Yeah, no, you should see his highlights. They're pretty good. Yeah,
Oh, I'll be watching for
Yeah.
sure, and you guys can watch it too as well.
on our Instagram.
Of course. So moving on. So Matt, what are your position? What are your responsibilities?
So I've played a lot of positions since I've come here. I started playing middle, which was super interesting because I didn't like middle at first because I love watching like passes in the back.
Yeah.
I've always been like obsessed with becoming the libero of the team because
Mm.
it's so you're keeping the play alive, and that's what I find so magical about
Right.
volleyball. But I played outside and right side at a couple of tournaments, and I honestly love each one. Now that I played all of them, I'll gladly play middle, right side, DS, lib.
So you kind of turned yourself into a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Mr. Music Man.
Yeah, everything over.
He can play all the strings.
They all the
All the- That was clever.
So AP, in your position as a middle blocker, is that right?
Yeah.
Is there more to just having your hands up and being as tall as you are, or is there more technique to it?
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing is you only have to worry about blocking and hitting,
Mm.
which is, pretty nice coming in because That's the only position I've played.
Okay.
I mean, I've played a little bit outside, but middle's fun. I mean, blocking's hard. Like, I always thought blocking would be easy. Like, you just jump, but that's still something I'm working on. I think that's the hardest part about being middle. Because you have to, on every play, you have to be blocking. So either
Right.
middle, right, left. So it's a lot of movement, which is intense. But
Yeah, and it can come from anywhere too. Any kind of angle, all that stuff is like affects the way you're going to be blocking it
Yeah.
and timing it and everything. So I'm sure there's a lot to it. I guess every position has their fair share of stress and
Yeah.
anxiety to it.
For middles, another thing I think is like this is my personal opinion. Okay,
Yeah.
I think middle blockers are the most athletic people on the team.
You heard it here.
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh yeah.
because okay, this guy has to jump. I don't know how many times, but every 2 seconds, every 5 seconds, jump, come back, and they run quick attacks.
Yeah.
So you gotta get that grip, go up, come down, then go run it again. You know, every single point you gotta be up there, just blocking, jumping down, transitioning. I can't do it.
and half the time you don't get set. So
yeah, you get sense.
it's like a
You
joke.
still have to
between
jump every single time. you know?
Right.
That's why I'm best friends with the setter all the
Yeah,
time.
There you go.
So you get the,
That's how you hack
that's
it.
smart.
So is there every time? So because like, I'm now imagining when I'm playing volleyball. I mean, you know, the classic, just kind of like rotate. You know, not necessarily a set position. Is there ever times where like, you know, they're going up for a hit and they fake it,
Yeah.
but they get it, they time it to where you're coming down and you can't jump back up? Does that happen often for you guys? Up in
Yeah,
the
I
front?
actually like those though, because sometimes I can get on the end of it, but yeah, those are tough. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that
And
happens.
that's
a lot.
why the middle blockers are tall, so they can even reach and
Oh, of
play there,
course, yeah.
even if they're like coming down.
Yeah,
and
you,
stuff.
even standing up, like they got like their elbow above the net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for, you know, to kind of get a little more into the fun side of volleyball, we've talked about the club and your guys' responsibilities for position in the club organization and on the court as well. But moving into some of the fun stuff. So what do you guys think makes volleyball so much fun? What about it makes you guys want to put so much effort into it in running the club?
Let's answer this from there, so I can tell
What
some.
makes volleyball fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
do you love about volleyball?
Getting a clean block is probably one of the most satisfying things.
Very
When
true.
you see that look on the opponent's face when you get the ball,
It's
satisfying.
yeah, it is very satisfying. I don't know. Volleyball is very, like, every sport I've played, volleyball is super like fast paced, which I like. Like every second you got to be looking where the ball is and making sure you're in the right position. So I find that very fun.
Moving on to the rest of the couch.
I mean, I love that every point matters, especially like even at the beginning, getting over 10 or getting closer to 25 before the other team gets over 20, that matters. So every point is like so much pressure. And I love like,
Yeah, being
Like-
in that position.
yeah.
So for me, volleyball comes with so many like mixtures. For me, like the first thing I love the sport is because you get to meet people.
There
It's
you
a
go.
team sport.
There you go. That's a politician's answer.
No, but here's the thing. That's how I made friends here, you know.
Of course.
And that's the first thing. Second thing is I forgot. Never mind. We could do this. No. Oh wait. Never mind.
Yeah, all good.
The second thing would be there's the, like Matt said, you're in the position where you're in pressure of getting the next point. You're competitive. The competition in this sport is, I think, the best, and which makes make the entire sport so much fun. It's the competition, because the one person who wins is who doesn't let the ball down, or who tries harder.
Yeah.
Because everyone in that situation or that specific day in that location is there to win the championship.
There you
right?
go.
Who wins it? The one who performs better, the one who outcomes all his mistakes, and who's just better at doing, like, just makes good decisions. Like as a setter, you
Yeah.
know, if I'm making a good decision, that's how I'm gonna make get a win for my team, right?
Yeah.
So we all see these as different challenges, and these challenges is what I think makes the fun, makes the sport so much fun, other than all the other areas.
Yeah, of course. So just that general sense of competition, just
Yeah.
fighting,
Oh,
and
yeah.
climbing the mountaintop. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
something that's
Yeah.
always exhilarating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, like, so some of my background, I was a swimmer in high school.
Okay.
I miss that stuff
Sick.
so bad.
That's so
I miss
cool.
everything about it besides the actual swimming, and the competition part is a huge piece of it for me.
Yeah.
So I definitely miss that, and doing the sports radio is my way of kind of keeping with it.
Coming
without
back.
having to put the work in.
Yes, sir.
So for you guys, so yeah, that's the fun part about volleyball. For you guys, we were kind of talking about it off air. What are some of your pet peeves? Like, can you guys play volleyball with regular people anymore? Like, can you guys still have fun with strangers on the beach and playing like that, or have you guys gotten so competitive you can't? I heard a lot of size them up and growing.
I mean, okay, I'm with the philosophy of, like people should stay grounded and stuff. And, there was a day when I was a beginner,
Yeah.
for sure. So it's not like me, I won't ever play with beginners or, people. Like, I'm not that good yet, at least physically. But the thing is, I would play, but the thing with right now being a mechanical engineering major and working.
Oh,
and
shout out to
doing
mechanical
all-
engineering, me
yes,
too,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
There we
I love
go.
that. And then you don't really have that much time, right? So all
Yeah.
we time left is play. And right now we are at a level where when we do that stuff, it's like are we being productive? Are we getting better, right?
Mhm.
And then playing at a lower level is just not good. Honest opinion, it's not good for you.
Right. As a competitor, as an athlete in the sport, you
And
can't
yeah.
quite dabble with the
Right,
commoners,
right.
with
And
the
then-
peasants.
Oh, one way to say it.
I mean, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm being told here.
No. I mean, okay. You don't have to put it like that.
Oh, I'm joking, we're cool.
No. My thing, I would say, when you go back to your competition after that, you're just a different person. And then all the work you have done, even after injuries, like injuries are bad not because of the pain, but all the work that you have done until now, you tend to, because a lot of it is muscle memory, right?
Mhm.
If you think it scientifically, it's not good for you. So that's why, like, you got to take care of yourself and just make sure you don't hurt yourself.
Right, and I kind of keep that muscle memory, get the
Yeah.
routine down, and
yeah.
if you have to take time off of it, then you got to restart and bring yourself
right,
back.
right.
I know that for sure. So, what do you hate about volleyball?
What do I hate about volleyball?
or a pet peeve with other people, or etc. What's something that bugs you a little bit? Because we got to get both sides of it. We're
Yeah.
human. We got some of those pet peeves.
I mean, I can't think of anything besides what AP said a little bit earlier about knee pads. So the knee pads, I promise you. So if my hands were the knee pads, they would be like this, right?
On the knee,
On your
right?
knee, right?
Right, I
But
think
people
so.
wear them down here. I don't understand how they slide or like land. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
It's a shin guard.
yeah,
It's a shin guard, and they bought the wrong thing.
yeah. Like I have bruises on my knees because I didn't wear the knee pads. But if I wore them, but then what if I wore them here? Would I have the same ones?
Probably,
Yeah.
So is it more like of wearing knee pads or just wearing them wrong?
Wearing them wrong.
There you go.
Yeah.
So do all of you guys like have all like the elbow pads and knee pads, like
No.
all the gear, mouth guard, helmet? And maybe I'm thinking of other sports.
No, yeah, full helmet.
Not really elbow pads, because this is one difference about men's and women's volleyball. Men's volleyball, you'll see a lot of like killing the ball in the first move, like you just tap the ball, so there's like less sliding, less like diving and just pancaking. It's not much.
Okay.
But liberos usually wear if they need to, but other than like outside hitters, middle blockers, not at all.
Right. They're not necessarily falling down as much. Now that I think about it.
It depends on positions. Yeah.
So moving on to so you guys have been on the team for quite a little bit here. What is your guys' favorite memory from your time on men's club volleyball?
You wanna start?
No, you start. And I'm still thinking of mine.
No, do you wanna start? No? You go.
I'll start. It was the end of was it Eastern or was it what was the team for the MIVA?
Oh, I think
Eastern.
it was Eastern. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Eastern?
Yeah, the final game. Yeah.
So we were playing our final game against Eastern, and I remember running. So a ball was going over me,
Mhm.
and I saw Alex, our libero,
Yeah.
that was sliding to get like pancake the ball, and I didn't see if it was in or out. But I saw Alex being really mad, like, "Are you kidding me? I can't believe it!" And I look over at the
The
line
ref.
judge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes, "I kid you not, it was the happiest moment of my life."
This meaning in?
It's
Out.
out. It's out.
Oh, it's
So
out.
Out. Yeah, because then we would have lost. Because it was like
I say yes.
I think it was like a 14-13 situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was the point where the dues were gonna happen, right? And
Yeah.
that's the point. If that didn't happen, they had got the 15-13. So we were 13, right?
Mhm.
And it got out. So we tied at 14-14, and then we won that game later.
There you go.
We came back.
And
It was
to
insane.
To put in context, that was our first league play. So it was with MIVA, and we went undefeated that that day, which was
entire
good.
game day.
All right.
So MIWA is something like NCAA, but MIWA is like Midwestern, I think, Intercollegiate Volleyball Association.
Okay.
So all
I
the club,
think.
yeah.
You said I think, but the whole name.
No, I might be wrong. I think I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. Okay. So here's the thing. All the club teams in Michigan are like Midwestern region. They compete in that tier. So there are different divisions. There's like Great Lakes division. There is Big Ten for like Midwestern teams.
Yeah.
Then there is like tier 3, tier 1, and you know it's like that. And then they have national championships in Arizona Phoenix. In you know, I think it's in April.
Kansas too.
Kansas. Oh yeah, Kansas. Yeah. Was it in April?
I think
During
so.
the finals, right? After like during spring, yeah.
Yeah.
And Matt, we're gonna go there this year. If we can.
Yeah, that's our goal.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's our goal.
Maybe.
You gotta get that chip. You gotta bring
I
that
know.
home.
Yeah, and then so it's that. So you compete. There are different game days. So and then they seed you with all your results. So that was our first ever game day with MIWA, and we were the top team in like that division.
You guys
The
were the
tier
top
two-
seed.
Yeah, we were the top seed,
Look
and
at
that was,
that.
and that was the deciding game with EMU. That one he said where we won it. It was a crazy game.
Man,
Was.
yeah, and man, like getting all that intensity that we talked about, just play to play, you
Right.
get it down.
Right.
So with 15, if I remember right, each set goes to 25 unless it's set 5. That goes to 15.
So
Is that right?
Our
Yes.
men's team are usually best of 3, right? We never did
Yeah.
best of 5 because these are long tournaments and so
Okay.
many teams, right? So it's usually best of 3, so 25, 25, and 15.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and that was our third set, and that happened. And you know, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more exciting than that. That kind of last second, last play. That's what you play the sport for.
Oh yeah.
It was so much intensity. I was on the sidelines. I was playing DS for that tournament, and I was subbing the right side for back row for passing and serving, and it was the intensity
Slaying the
was-
day away. That's for sure.
The intensity was so high. I was like, oh man.
So to wrap things up here, we're coming up on the time here. So thank you guys so much for coming. Where can people find you? Where can they find your games? We mentioned your social media. You could tag that again. And how can they join the club here?
That goes back to Grizzorgs, right? That's what it's called.
Well, Grizzorgs, I
Grizz-
guess, but I mean,
the MyRecul website where you register.
yeah, my Recwell is where you'd register for our club. But I would recommend like coming to a practice or, practice first.
So-
Going to you guys
You
in
could,
person.
you,
Yeah.
could, you could do this, guys, like new people or the freshmen coming to Oakland University. Check out our Instagram, Oakland MCVB. You can either text us, so we could get you information on tryouts and open gym.
Slide in
And
the
then-
DMs.
Yeah. Join. So then the registration process after that goes to myrecul.oakland.edu. It's a Recul website, and then they have an app too where you register. We have a certain due amount for the semester that helps out us with traveling and tournament registration and jerseys and stuff like that. And then the reason I would say everyone should at least try out or come to one of our open gyms is all this excitement and fun we just talked about. And volleyball is a sport where you don't know what's coming for you. It just opens you up to so many different opportunities. And it's just a fun time to spend with the people that go in, like you have classes with together. And then our practices for this semester are
Monday, Wednesday, 5 to 7.
Mondays and Wednesdays 5 to 7, and it's like around like right after your class, so you don't have to worry about going home and coming back, you know. And then we have tournaments.
We're already preparing for 2 different tournaments. We
Oh,
have
yeah.
the Hardwood Classic at MSU, which is a huge tournament, and hopefully we get into the Chip Classic at CMU.
All right.
So
So you got East Lansing, you got Mount Pleasant on the map there for your club
Yes,
volleyball
sir.
team. Look at that.
So these tournaments are on weekends, so you also get to travel with the team on weekends. You know, it's a fun, like it's fun.
It's a fun
It's a lot
getaway.
of
It's a
fun.
fun way to make friends. It's a fun way to kind of, feed that competitive side of you. Would be men's club volleyball.
And then I could make like crazy highlights about you guys if you're like,
Who wants more than to be famous on Instagram?
On
and
Instagram,
just say highlights.
my
Get those
last video was
bribes.
70,000. Not to mention, but it was 70,000 views, which is like, give me some time and I can get you guys above 100K. So
You heard it here on the JOMO Show. Fellas,
Wow.
thank you guys so much for coming on to the show, being the first interview of Fall 23 for the JOMO Show. Looking
Awesome.
forward to having you guys back, seeing you guys' games, and hearing about your success.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for having
you.
us.
And you can tune in to the JOMO Show Thursdays at 6 on WXOU for your Oakland sports update, including some highlights from these guys as well as professional sports as they come by. Thank you, everybody. This has been the JOMO Show. Giovanni Moshieri, Hemant, Matt, AP, signing off.
Thank you.